Okay, so we're going to have this Google Maps image now used as the basis for the both the site features, but also especially True North and other things that we can pick up from here. And so hopefully you all had a good look at Google Maps and are used to using it. If you don't, then it's something you need to start doing because it's an essential tool for the work that we do. And it's just been updated as well. If you haven't looked at it recently, Google Maps did a pretty major update just a week or so ago. And it is better, definitely, but things have moved around, so make sure you have a look at that. You know, the Street View thing down here and everything now. So otherwise, it's really important to be able to navigate, and so there I've navigated to the location of the site, and so you can see the pool there with the building, and so that's our building. And so I'll just get a zoomed in view of that, trying to pick up all of the site features that I'm interested in. So I want to get the whole site, which includes the pool and the entry and the car park. But then we want to get enough detail to be able to see the features on the building that we need as well. So that's what I want, essentially that view. And I'm going to capture that now, just using Control Print Screen, which should get just the active window. And then a really good tool to use with these is, with screen captures, is, believe it or not, Paint. Photoshop works as well, but I like to use Paint. Then you can have Paint open, use this to dump things into, and then bring them from there into Photoshop, and that works pretty well. So if I paste this in now, you can see we've got the image there, and you can zoom out if you want to, and make sure you've got everything. Now I've got a double screen here, so it's picked up my next monitor as well, but that's okay. We just need this part of it, and using select there, you can always just choose the part you want. So I just need really this part of it. Notice I'm making sure I keep that scale. I want that down there, the 20 metres. And then now I've got the part I want, I'll just use crop, and then save as, and I'll save this so that you can get it on the P drive. And where are we? Sorry, I just looking at my message. In the existing drawings and photos, I'll put this as well, and I'll call this cropped Google Maps or Google Satellite. Satellite's double L, isn't it? That's into it. So hopefully you can get to that image. And so now I'm going to insert that into Revit. Now there's a couple of tricks here, and so if you remember me saying this is going to seem like a little bit of a roundabout way, but again it should all make sense in the end. So I'm going to insert on the Insert tab, again just the image, and so I'll choose that file, and then I'm going to place it just off to the side so it's away from these grids that I've drawn. And then I'm going to draw a couple of reference planes over it. Now this is just my method. You won't find too many other people will show you how to do it this way, but I think it's a good method. And I don't know really of a better way of doing it. I've seen a lot of people try, but I don't know, like I said, of any better than this. So if you start on the corner there of the pool, and then trace all the way along that edge, you should be able to pick up fairly accurately the angle of that side. Now you could do it on the building as well, that would also be a good reference, so I might do one there as well just in case, or just as a way of double checking. And one really nice thing about Revit is that it will, where it can, trace raster images, and I think that's an amazing thing. recently. It's so there it is, trying to trace the line from the any image, JPEGs, yep, whatever format it can insert. Now it tries its best. It's not doing a brilliant job there, so I'm going to use my eye to get it maybe what I think is straight instead. Well, that's not bad actually. I'm happy with that. Okay, so I've got two reference planes there. I'll go back to the other view so I can see them separately, and they're parallel. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So maybe it snapped to them, I don't know, but that's the angle I want essentially for that image. And again, that should make more sense once I've rotated it. So I'm going to delete the first one that I drew along the pool because I'm happy with the one that I got from the building. Now back to the true north view, and so remember the true north view is the one I used to insert the image, and that's very important. So now I'm going to draw another reference plane from the bottom of that previous one straight up. Okay, so as you were saying before, north is straight up the page. So this essentially is marking north for my own purposes. And so then I'm going to select that image and the two reference planes, so I'll do that just with a window. So I've got my two reference planes and the image. You can see over here three things. And I'm going to use rotate and snap the base point onto the bottom of this reference plane. Let's show it again. And then the baseline onto the reference plane again. And then coming down, I'm going to make sure this goes horizontal. Okay, so you can see there that I've got the building now at the same angle it is in the plan, or with the grids and other things we've drawn already. So now I can drag that image down to the location of the grid lines, and again I'm just using the arrow keys now to nudge that across. Okay, so I've got the corner there roughly where the building should be, and now I can again stretch this just using the corners of the image. It needs to be fairly big, this one, so stretch it right out. Now here it might really save you some time if you spend some time learning to use the scale tool to do this, because that is going to be faster. So again I'm going to nudge this so that the corner is aligned, and I'll click on the scale button now. So I'll start measuring my distance from that corner to the size of the image, in other words the size it is, so to the end here. And now I'll take it across to the size it should be, which is the end of my reference plane. So you can see now that matches pretty well. So not only have I got a reference now for the building, but I've got a reference for the whole pool. And so it's pretty interesting there. You can see, there's no point sometimes trying to get everything perfectly straight, because it's perspective. It won't ever be perfect. Your drawings should be, but not photos, because that is, you can see, a different angle to the left. It's probably not straight actually, it's probably not even a straight line, it's probably not a straight wall at all, but even so you get straight walls that don't look straight. So again we've got the reference plane there that still tells us where true north is. So if I hadn't drawn that, I could have still picked up true north from the side of the image as well. If you forget to draw that reference plane, don't panic, because you've still got that image there, which should have again a pretty good indication of north. We can even see it there. Okay, so if you again don't draw the reference plane, like I said, you can usually still work it out. But having the reference plane there will help. And so now I'm going to go to the Manage tab, and then under Location, Project Location, you've got Rotate True North there. So I can dragging my base point onto the reference plane, use that reference plane again to give my base angle, and now snap this to vertical. Okay, and so what you should see then is that it goes back. So this image, it might look like I've just reversed what I did before. So the image is back to the way it was. You might think, well, what's the point of that? I've just gone full circle and brought it back to the way it was. But I haven't actually. This is the true north view, remember? If I go to the ground floor plan, you can see that's all still at the original orientation. Okay, and so the satellite image there is only going to show in the true north view. I'd have to copy and paste that and put that into another site plan if I wanted without the north orientation. And I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to duplicate this view, just using duplicate. So I've got a copy of the site plan, and I'll rename that and call it site we'll just call it image. And now again I'll go to true north, and I'll select that image, copy to clipboard, and then site with image I'll open, and then go to paste, align to current view, and notice something really interesting. It comes in at an angle. So it's clever enough to know it's the right angle because it lines up with the building, with what I've drawn for the grid. So you know it's the right angle, but it's a different angle, or it looks like it's a different angle to the true north view. And it's not that the image is at a different angle, it's the view. So in the true north view, the view is rotated so that north is up the page. In those other views, they use what's called project north. So that's using the orientation you have on your sheet, and true north is at an angle to that. So that's always shown. If you've got that reference plane though, you can always see where true north is in any of your other views. So I can move that if I need to. And then just to finish off with this video, now that I've got true north there, I don't have anything to cast shadows onto. So I'm going to just quickly draw some objects to give you an idea how to get started with that. And this should be really quick and easy for you. So I don't want to put too much into one video. But here under architecture you can see I'm just using the basic floor tool. So I'll actually just click on the floor button to the left. And I'm going to use the line there to draw over the reference plane. So you can do this even before you have the image for the satellite image inserted. As long as you've got the reference planes and the grids drawn, you can trace the shape of that floor. And it is just a rectangle. I could have used the rectangle tool to draw this. So you'll add the walkways above and below to this floor eventually, but for now you can just draw it as a rectangle. And then using the view with the image inserted, you can see then that the floor will cover that image. So you can set it then to wireframe, and then just quickly draw some rough walls over the image, or using the image as a guide essentially. So with the wall tool I can draw just say generic walls, generic 200mm, over the floor there, making sure I've got decent settings for the options. So finish face exterior would make sense here. Okay, so we've got solid wall there. Notice I'm tracing the grid lines, not trying to slavishly just trace the image. So let's go to there. And then we've got some more solid walls inside here. So I can I can just switch to drawing actually just different generic walls. Just use a rectangle there. So you've got those two sort of rectangular blocks, so you can very quickly just get something roughly done there. Okay, so we'll massage all of that into shape later. And then the outer walls, oops, I keep going back to the outer walls, you could just use the storefront curtain wall to get started. And again, just tracing roughly, so I'm going to go from the middle of this wall here to get it centered. And the curtain wall goes up to about there, and then it's balcony or balustrade from there, and then it starts up again about here, like that. So I'm just roughly tracing the image to get a basic idea where the walls are. Notice the walls, it's not very clear. The walls do finish there. You can see that's where the doors are, so they do finish about there. And now again there, that's the floor, so I'm going to draw just above that. And something like that. It's about to somewhere around there. Again, we'll fine tune all of this. So don't be fussy about placement of any of these initial objects, especially the walls. So in the 3D view, you can see we've got a very rough layout of that level. But even at this point, with the shadows on, you can set that to still in your sun settings, and it will use true north. So that's the real sun direction. And then more than that, you've got the overall size worked out pretty well from those reference images, and that should give you a really good start point for then moving on and modelling up the rest of it. But anyhow, like I said, I'll just finish it up there. But tempted to open up. No, I won't open up a more complete one yet. I'll show you that next. So I'll just finish that video.